Hello and welcome everyone. Tonight's training topic is Google AdWords. My name is Rick Wilson. I'm the Director of Online Services at USANA. If you ever have questions about USANA's technology systems, feel free to contact me via email. This is my email address at the bottom. Tonight we are lucky to be joined by Robert. He's the president of IMREX, and he's going to be going over the more complicated topics of Google AdWords in this particular presentation. Before we get started, I want to just touch on the compliance points. If you're going to use Google AdWords, there's a few things I just want you to remember. Remember that all words that are trademarked by USANA are owned by USANA, meaning you need to make sure you are using them correctly and you have permission to use them. Words would include the word USANA, Health Pack, Rev3, anything like that that's been trademarked by USANA. Since you are marketing using AdWords, you need to make sure you do that right. To do that, you can easily check with USANA compliance team, and they'll make sure whatever you're planning to do with the word USANA or the word Health Pack or word Rev3 or any of those USANAMals, they'll make sure that you're using them correctly. To contact compliance, this is their email address right here, compliance@usana.com. So in tonight's AdWord training, it's kind of broken into 3 sections. First section, I'm going to walk you through the really basic stuff. Creating a Google AdWords account, targeting customers, creating an ad, setting a price, and then signing up for Google AdWords, which it is kind of funny, but you sign up after you've actually created it. And I think they do that so you can see what it's going to cost up front. The second part, Robert's going to jump on, and he's going to walk you through more of the meat and potatoes of AdWords. AdWords is a very powerful tool, and in my opinion, it's one of the best tools for driving business to your opportunity, mainly because you can control the amount of marketing you do, and the marketing gives you a real-time return on investment, so you can find out what is or isn't working and make sure you're not spending money in the wrong places. And that's really what Robert's going to touch on tonight. And then afterwards, I'm just going to close with showing you how to do conversions, which is a question I actually get quite a bit, and I'm going to let you know where we're at with your ability to use conversions with USANA's tools and how far out we are on certain things. So with that, I'm going to jump right in to the browser and show you how to do this. So if you go to adwords.google.com, it'll take you to a page that looks like this. And if you did not have an account before, all you do is go up here to the top right hand corner, hit Start Now. It's going to allow you just walk through these couple of steps. I'm going to say I already have an email address I like. I'm not using it for anything else in Google. Then I will put in that email address that I want to use. In this case, it's a demo address, and create a password. Alright, perfect. The next thing I want it to do, you're going to have to verify with some sort of phone. They can either send you a text message or a voice call. Because I'm already on my voice phone, I'm going to have them send me a text message. So Google just sent me a text message. So 430212, hit verify. And all they do that for is to make sure I'm a real person. And the next thing I do, next step, I'm just setting my time zone, United States. I can say Mountain Time. I'm US dollars. Hit continue.
Rick, that's important too, because once you put that in, you can't change it.
Okay, good point. And I'm speeding through some of these steps. When you all go through this, make sure you read everything they write there, because that's one of 2 places that I know of in Google AdWords that once you set it, it's set permanently. Now all I have to do is verify my account. You know that I already verified that I'm a real person through my phone, but they want to verify that I really own this email address. If I go over to my demo email account, There's my Google AdWords verification email. It's going to have a link in it. I just click on that, and I am now in Google AdWords. So this is what the screen, the dashboard looks like the very first time you come in. After you've set up a campaign, it will look different than this, and I'll show you that in a second. And at that point, then I'll be able to hand it off to Robert. And the first thing I'm going to do here, what I would strongly suggest, even though you may be watching this tutorial, watch Google's tutorial also. First thing I'm going to do is click on here. It's going to walk me through step by step on creating a campaign. So I can say, I'm going to call this one Campaign Demo. And on a lot of the stuff, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because Robert's going to come back and talk to you about the things that are really important on this, at least as far as a new AdWords user should be concerned. So I'm going to be United States and Canada, English. I'm going to leave these all the same for now. I'm going to set my budget, say, to $100 a day. And I'm not going to touch these because Robert's going to come back and touch on those. Save and continue. Okay, so I have a campaign. Now I'm going to put an ad group within that campaign. I'm going to call it Ad Group Demo. It's going to be a text ad, and this is where you're going to see what your ad looks like. So I'll show you this right here. So I can say super duper vitamins. I can say the world's best vitamins, and I can say customized for you. And then I want to put a URL in here. I'm just going to Rick Wilson's website .usana.com. When I go to the next line, it just drops it down for me. If I look over here on the right hand side, this is what my ad would look like on Google when someone does a search for the keywords that I choose. So it'd show up as super duper vitamins, world's best everything I typed in there. Down below is your keywords. It's going to suggest some keywords that you may be interested in. So I may say, okay, I want USANA Health, or maybe I don't want USANA Health. I can just remove them. I can say USANA Health Sciences, and then I can say USANA Vitamins, and I can say World Class Vitamins. You get the idea. You get to make up the keywords, and we'll go into more detail on that a little bit later. I hit save and continue on to billing. At this point, this is another one of those select country, so we want United States. Hit continue. I'm going to put in my billing information, so USANA, Rick Wilson. Hit continue, and then this is where I'm going to make a couple things. In my case, I want to do manual payments so I can track it. You can do automatic payments. Hit continue, hit agree. This is the terms to use Google's AdWords. Submit and activate my account. So I've just created a Google AdWords account. It will not show on live until I have made them a payment. To do that, I'll just click here, and I can choose bank account, credit card, put in the amount that I want to hit, review payment. I'm not going to do that right now, but what I am going to do is now show you a couple of the screens real fast. First one being home. If you've ever used Google Analytics, some of this might look familiar. Of course, this is not Google Analytics. This is just using some analytical type information to show you your click-through and eventually your conversion rate. Your campaigns themselves, so this is your dashboard, your home dashboard, which you can customize if you click Customize Modules up here. Once you get really good at it, there's specific things you're going to want to look at. Campaigns. Here's my campaign demo here. and all of the information associated with it. Of course, it's not active yet because I haven't made a payment to Google, but once that happens, you'll start seeing when people click on your ad, you're going to see the information here related to your campaign. So with that, I am going to hand this off to Robert.
Okay, you can let me know if you guys see my screen. See that, Rick?
I do.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much. What I want to actually cover in this presentation is, we see it's very easy to actually create ads in Google AdWords. Okay, toolset is actually very easy to start using. However, there's so much that can be done within AdWords. And what I did for this presentation actually is what I'm covering is a few things that are going to be when we actually, our company does a lot of audits, I should say. We do a lot of audits. We do a lot of clients that come on board who have Google AdWords accounts already. And what we find is a lot of times the structure of the accounts aren't set up correctly. Even though it's very easy to open an account and create ads, the structure is really not optimal. So what we want to actually cover in this presentation is how to set up the correct structure, understanding what a campaign, an ad group, and the keywords are. As Rick took you through it, it looks fairly easy, but understanding how to actually build that out will make you more successful, having a more successful Google AdWords account in the long run. Also, I'm going to show you some of the tools that you use to find keywords. You saw Rick was actually putting keywords in. We saw that he added them by clicking from the right side panel that said, here's keywords that are related to what you're doing. But also what you want to do is you want to use the Google toolset to find what are keywords that are actively searched for related to what I'm trying to advertise. So if you're advertising vitamin, right, or vitamin B or vitamin C, for just example, what keywords are being actively searched for and how much are they being searched for? So what we want to do is use the Google toolset to tell us, okay, maybe if we search for vitamin C, Google will say to us, you know, a lot of people search for ester vitamin C or vitamin C powder. So we want to know that because maybe we want to advertise under that as well. There are a couple tabs. There, as you saw from what Rick was showing you, there are many tabs through Google AdWords, the top, and we'll go through that, and I'll actually show you pictures of those. But there's 2 to 3 tabs that are very important when you first set up your account, and it's very important to understand the feature set behind them. Okay, it will help you when you first start an account because it's you know, we could put in maybe $50 a day. We want to start advertising. However, we can blow that budget within an hour if we don't set the settings correctly. And I want to actually show you what settings should be set up correctly so we're not just spending money unnecessarily. Okay. The other thing we want to go over is geo-targeting. Now with Google AdWords, we can advertise to the world, to just a region, maybe a country. We can take it down to a zip code even. So we want to show you how to actually set geo-targeting so we can test campaigns. Maybe you want to try something, you don't want to spend that much money, but let's test maybe just the Northeast, or let's test just New York City and see how that works. And the last thing we want to go over is negative keywords. Because we're advertising under our keyword list, we put in maybe we want to advertise under vitamin C. Maybe we want to advertise under vitamin C powder. However, we don't want to be associated with keywords, maybe someone's typing in cheap or discount vitamin C. So we want to start putting negative keywords in too. So anyone who's searching for discount, we don't want our ads to show. Anyone searching for cheap, we don't want our ads to show. That's very important too. That's how we stop those unnecessary clicks from coming through. So I'll take you to the first slide. As we said, campaigns, ad groups, ads, and the keywords. Those are very important to understand when setting up a Google AdWords account and understanding what that language actually means. Okay, it is a little bit difficult when you first start it. What's a campaign? What's an ad group? Well, where do ads go? What about the keywords? So here's how you think of it. You have a website, and your website sells vitamins, okay, and they sell power drinks, and you sell maybe organic food. Well, each one of those would be its own campaign. We would have a campaign for vitamins, a campaign for power drinks, and then a campaign for organic foods. Within those campaigns, we'll take, for example, vitamins. We would take it in a subset down into the campaign vitamins and have ad groups. The ad groups could be one for vitamin C, one for multivitamin, one for vitamin B. So those are the different ad groups, too, within that. Same with, we did power drinks. We would have a bunch of ad groups in there. And I'm going to show you visually how this looks, too. I just want to walk you through this first. Then within those ad groups, as we said, vitamin C is an ad group, vitamin B is an ad group, we would have ads. That's what Rick showed you when he built, when he put in super duper vitamins. The ads would be within the ad groups. Then below that are the keywords that trigger those ads. So the reason why I'm talking about this is we see a lot of clients come in where we do audits and they have one campaign for vitamins, power drinks, health foods, and so on. And by setting it up this way, you can easily manage what's working and what's not working, start turning off campaigns that are working or put more money into the campaigns that are working. That's why it's so important. Visually, this is how it looks. Okay, so we have the account level. Okay, we have our account level, which is your store, right, your website. Then underneath the account level, we have the campaign. That's that first screen. And I'm going to go through after this, and I'm actually going to show you, we mocked up what this looks like in AdWords. Then we have our campaign set up. Underneath that campaign, we would have the vitamins and the health foods. Then underneath that, that's our ad group level. Then we would have, under vitamins, we'd have multivitamin as an ad group. Okay, vitamin C is an ad group. Over the health food, maybe organic cereal, organic pasta. This is infinite. The amount of campaigns and ad groups are infinite. They can keep going on. Once again, why are we setting it up this way? Maybe vitamin C is not doing well. You can cut this one off. Maybe multivitamin is doing a lot better. We put this, more money into this. Then from there, we have our keywords. That can be infinite too. So we have our keyword 1, keyword 2, all the way down the list. Just want to take you one more visual. Shows you what this looks like. So once again, our campaign then is at the top here. Our campaign is vitamins. We can have an infinite number of ad groups. Vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D. Our ads, and this is what our ad would look like. For example, vitamin B up to 70% off, orders, free shipping and so on. And then our keywords underneath that. So once again, it's important to make sure you have multiple campaigns, multiple ad groups that are very specific to what you're advertising. Now what I want to do is actually want to show you, we have a resources page that we're going to show you, send this to you, and it'll give you the tools at the end of this where we get help, the AdWords help blog, the AdWords help files, and a link to the actual Google keyword tool. So if you bear with me, I'm just going to bring up really quick. Campaign. This is our mock-up campaign that we created. And what we have here is, just so you know, this is a mock-up, so there are errors in there because the URL is not real. We don't have a high enough bid, so you'll see like errors like your bid is not high enough and so on. It's just a mock-up for this presentation. So now, what you're actually seeing is we have the tabs, the home, campaign, opportunities, tools, billing. We're just going to focus on a couple tabs that will help the success of a new campaign starting, a new AdWords account being started. So we talked about the keyword tool. Okay, we're logged in to our AdWords account. You don't have to be. I have a link that I'll send you to access the Google keyword tool. You might want to look at it first before you sign into an account. But once you're in the account, we go to Tools, and we click on the keyword tool. This keyword tool is what we use to find actively search for keywords. So for example, type in our keyword, do a little search, and it gives us an understanding of how many times the keyword searched for, how much competition there is, and so on. So to give you, I'll give you a little bit, let me do a little bit, drill down. We'll go to vitamin C. Give you a better idea. So now what we see is this keyword, vitamin C, okay, the competition's medium, not heavy competition. Why would vitamin C have medium competition and not heavy? Well, one of the reasons is it's targeted enough. So people who are advertising, it's really at that level of people doing research. So it wouldn't have a high competitive rate. So what we want to look at is the global monthly searches and local monthly searches. This could throw you a little because local, what does that mean? Local means United States. That's what local means in this case. Global means exactly what it is. It's global. So locally, this is searched for about 27,000 times a month. Gives you an idea. Okay. What we know from this now is it's an actively searched for term. We can advertise under it. Another thing we find with some new accounts is they have keywords in there that are not actively searched for. If they're not actively searched for, ads will not get triggered. Nobody will click through a website. So we want to make sure they're actually searched for. It's also giving us some other suggestions, like vitamin C powder. Maybe this is relevant as well. So you want to use the tool to make sure you're finding keywords that fit your products, fit your business, and keywords that you think that when someone searches for this keyword and they click to your website, they're more likely to buy. And that's the purpose of this tool. Once again, it's located right here at the top. The next thing we want to show you is mock-up campaigns that we have. So we talked about, the campaign, the ad group, the keywords, the ads. Well, I'm going to actually show you what this looks like in AdWords. When you're in AdWords, you set up an account. Okay. The campaign level, once again, if my website was selling vitamins, health foods, and power drinks, I'm going to have a campaign for each. So I have a campaign for vitamins. Within my vitamins, I have vitamin C, vitamin B, and vitamin D. That's an ad group. Okay, these are not my ads yet. These are my ad groups. I click on vitamin C, and now I have my keyword that triggers the ad. Once again, we're seeing this because I just put in a little bit of 10 cents. So it's basically telling me it's not going to show my ad because it's too low of a cost per click. So that's my keyword, and the ad will look like this. And that was disapproved because I don't own vitamins.com. So that's why we're seeing that error. So this keyword is going to trigger this ad. Taking it back up again, why do we have it like this? Because if we're not selling vitamin C and we're getting a lot of clicks, we'll either pause or delete it. When you delete something, it's never fully deleted. Google doesn't delete it for good. You could always find it. So just a little note. But another thing that we want to show you, though, which is important, not only setting up campaigns and ad groups and keywords correctly, but one of the tabs that we really want to focus on is the settings tab, which is often overlooked. Okay? The settings tab allows you, and I'm going to use, for example, vitamins. As you saw, Rick was showing you, I could start taking it down a level and geo-targeting. Maybe my budget's not that big. Maybe I don't really want to start, I don't know about anything of that. I don't want to spend a lot of money, so I just want to target maybe some area. Or you have regions. Maybe you sell only into one region. So what we can do is, the locations section here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, I want to edit this. Okay, I want to remove Canada. Okay, maybe I want to I live in New York City, so I'm going to put my zip code. I just want to advertise to people in my zip code. Okay, so what this is showing me now is my reach for my zip code, which means I could basically get in front of about 9,000 people a month. Okay, just for my zip code. I could take it up a level, and I could do the city if I want, which is 10 million. And then I can keep going up from there, and I can add. Okay, so maybe I just want to do New York, my zip code. Well, that's how you do that. And once again, this is important because now you can test. Be careful not to go, this would be a little bit too niche. I don't think I would get a lot of impressions. So if you notice your account is really not getting a lot of impressions, you might want to just start opening it up a little more. Maybe I want to do a couple zip codes, or maybe I want to do just New York City. But very important that you target certain areas when you test. You'll get a bigger bang for your buck because you're targeting and you're putting all your money into one little area rather than spread out throughout the United States or throughout the world. Another thing that we want to look at is our network and devices. This is important too. We often see this is overlooked. So the networks, we want to edit that. I'll save this first, sorry. The network, I want to choose. What is the network? Well, Google has a lot of partners. If you ever go to a website like Comcast, okay, you'll see search powered by Google. That's a partner. So when you search on Comcast, you will see Google AdWords, also the sponsored listing. So maybe I don't want that. I want just people on Google search. Well, I'd uncheck that. Display. You've all seen display. You go to you see them on a lot of news sites, blogs, where you see the little sponsored listings next to an article. Okay, that is also run by Google. Maybe I don't want it on those news items or blogs or other websites. All I really want to focus on is search. I recommend when you start a campaign that you don't run on the display network, that you focus on Google search in the beginning. Then you open up display later on. But there can be a lot of waste if it's not done correctly. So I would want to uncheck this right now. I'm okay with the search partners. I would actually leave that. But display I would take off for a new account. So I'm going to save that. Devices. This is another thing that's important. Devices are exactly what you see here. I want to advertise on just desktops and laptops, or I want to add mobile devices as well with full browsers or tablets. Maybe I don't want to advertise on mobile. Maybe I just want to advertise on desktops and tablets. This is where you can unselect all or a few. We have to pick one. So I could say I don't want mobile devices right now. I just really want people in front of a computer or in front of the tablet. Okay? It gets a little bit more advanced. I could actually drill down to the operating system, but that's if you're really selling a software, that's when that comes in handy. But what I'll do is I'll take off mobile devices just to show you. And that's it. So the settings tab is very important, again, because of the geo-targeting, to really find out what your region is or where you want to test this. Okay? And also your network and devices as well. Okay, those are very important areas because, once again, mobile is a different type of user. Mobile is not the same as currently, is not the same as someone sitting at a desktop or someone sitting at a tablet. Also, tablet doesn't always mean mobile. People confuse tablet with mobile. A lot of times people on tablet are sitting in front of the couch watching TV. So I want to bring you back to the resources page. Bear with me. Oh, I'm going to finish off, sorry, with the negative keywords, and then I'll bring you back there. So negative keywords, I'm going to bring it back to all online campaigns. Once again, navigation is like breadcrumbs here. We have the navigation at the very top. Bring it back to all online campaigns. I'm going to go over, I'll bring it back to the home screen just so we get familiar. So we have our campaigns, ad groups, our tab up here. Once again, we're not going through all of them. We're just what we need to actually start to have a successful campaign. So the other tab that I want to talk about is our keywords tab. So I'm going to click on the keywords tab, and I'll show you negative keywords and how to find them. Okay? You might know negative keywords already. You might want to just say, I don't want to be associated with discount. Okay? Well, we can do that. We can actually pick it from the bottom here. Okay? We can add it in. We can add our negative keywords. Or what we do recommend doing, picking a period or a time, we like to do it weekly. As your campaign is running, maybe weekly or every other week or at least once a month, what you'll do is, we won't have it here because this is not a live campaign. We're in the keywords tab. What we like to do is pull a report from See All search terms, all, okay? What that is that report allows us to understand what are the keywords that people are typing into the search box and then clicking on our ad and coming to the site. So what are they actually typing in, finding our ad, clicking on it, and coming to our site? That's how we really find those negative keywords. That's how we find when people are typing in cheap or discount. So what we want to do is it's easy to select them and say, make this a negative. So maybe you sell vitamin C, but you don't sell powder. Vitamin C, it's not. So we would want a negative powder because we don't want that person coming through and it's not what I wanted, and it costs you money because you're getting charged every time someone clicks on your ad. So those are very important. The settings tab, very important to geo-target. Also to look for network and devices on a new account. Make sure that you are mobile ready. Okay? And also that keywords tab as your account is running, to make sure that you're monitoring that and you're seeing what types of terms people are coming to your website under, and make sure to negative out the keywords that you don't want people coming to your website because it's not going to lead, you feel it won't lead to a sale. So I'll bring it back to a resources page. And once again, you'll get a copy of this deck, but these, this help file, Google has a help file. It's very extensive. I've never come across a help file that didn't help me answer a question. It's great for beginner through advanced. There's a link here for the Google keyword tool. You don't have to have a Google AdWords account if you feel that I want to look at the keyword tool first. I want to see what kind of traffic I can expect. You can go right to it. And then last is the AdWords blog. The blog is great because it tells you the new features that are coming out. It'll help you with understand some features that are already there or tweaks they're making. So it's a good way to familiarize yourself with the product without actually having to be in the product. So that's the extent of my presentation. I'll hand it back over to Rick. I think he wants to, if there's any questions.
Actually, I'm going to, before we get to the questions, I'm going to just show one more thing. The last thing I wanted to show you on this presentation at least is conversations. So once you're in your Google AdWords, I'm sorry, conversions, not conversations, there's one final step. So as you launch your AdWord campaigns and people are clicking on your AdWords through Google searches, you're going to see the click-through. And each one of those click-throughs is going to cost you money. Be it if you set it manually, if you set it to like 10 cents or $1 a click or whatever, or like I did, I set it automatically, and Google's telling me how much it's charging me per click until I hit my limit, which I set to $100 a day, which is also under an additional limit, which is the amount of money I've already paid. You pay in advance on these. What's most important to me is not that they're necessarily clicking through, but that those click-throughs turn into a sell or an enrollment for me. And Google AdWords has a way to show that, and so that you can say, okay, like Robert was saying before, maybe you used an AdWord for vitamin C, and a bunch of people are clicking on your link looking for discount vitamin C because you did not set up the negative AdWord. And so when you come in, you'll find that, oh, there's a lot of clicks to that, and I've paid a lot of money for those clicks, but I have 0 conversion on that, and you wouldn't know that if you had not set up conversions. Now, to set up conversions, it's under Tools and Analysis. You're going to click this second link that says Conversions. And with conversions, what we want to do is first create a brand new conversion. I might call mine Demo, and the type of conversion location, I'm going to say I'm looking for conversions on my website. Save and continue. Conversion category, in the case of the example I gave previously, I would say purchase and sell. Is it a secure or insecure page that you're going to be putting this on? Conversion value, this one is optional, we can leave that blank for now. And then if you do or don't want this little logo to show up, I typically don't use that. So I do the don't add notification code generation. So I hit save and continue. And then it asks, what are you going to do with this code? I'm assuming most of you are working either on your own, or if you're working with someone else, they're going to be doing this for you. So in both cases, it would be right here, the second drop down. And what this has created is a special script that when someone goes to, say, a thank you page, or basically through the process that you wanted that AdWord to create, this code on that page will tell Google AdWords a conversion has completed, meaning I've had X number of clicks for that AdWord, and based off this code that was on that thank you page or the final page final section of what I call a conversion, this will say, and so many of those were conversions, meaning I got an order or an enrollment. Where this should go on your USANA website, your distributor website, would be on the thank you page of the retail shopping cart or the online enrollment. However, we have not built that capability so that you can drop this code in. We are actively working on that right now, so hopefully in the near future you will be able to do what I've just shown you, to create a conversion and then go get your code here, and you'll go into USANA today. You'll probably go to your profile manager and you'll drop this in to the specified section. It's probably going to be AdWords conversion code or something of that. When that's ready, we will do announcements, and I will do another quick training just on this part, on how to do this, and I'll walk you through it completely. But I wanted you to know this exists because you can use this outside of your USANA website. Some people are just trying to get people to come to them to talk to them. So you could really use this, say, if you had a blog that you use or some external website that you use. You can drop this in there. This can also be dropped in on pretty much any of your web pages in your website. So like the Contact Me page, this could be put in there, and that does work now. Where it doesn't work is on the thank you page of your shopping cart or your online enrollment. That actually sums up our training for today. If you ever have questions about anything technical related to USANA, feel free to contact me. If I don't know the answer, I do know who does. I am not an AdWords expert, and that's why we brought Robert in today. And if you guys ever have interest in hiring a professional company to help you with your Google AdWords campaigns, they are the company that we use here at USANA for much of our stuff that we do.